Last weekend, Louise and I took a trip to Southampton to cheer on our son-in-law Jack and our daughter Maisie as they run the Southampton half marathon. We set off early, having already studied the course map, to plan the best spots to catch them running past multiple times. With our cowbells, our whistles and a good dose of enthusiasm, we staked out our first viewing point. We were soon joined by some of Maisie's friends and our other daughter Megan. It didn't take long for us to get caught up in the excitement. Before we knew it, we were cheering on almost every runner that passed, and there were a lot of them. We were there for over 2 hours, and I honestly pity anyone who had to stand near us, because by my judgment, we were probably the loudest supporters out there. Jack ran an impressive time of 1 hour 30 minutes, and Maisie finished a little later alongside her friend Becky. I couldn't have been prouder. The sun was shining, the crowd was full of energy, and there was a great sense of community and celebration in the air. But 2 moments from the day really stood out, and they gave me something to reflect on. First, and perhaps not surprisingly, I genuinely enjoyed spending time with Maisie's friends. Without wanting to sound patronising or too much like an old guy, I was struck by how lovely they were. They were kind, interesting, easy to talk to, and great company. Even though I didn't know them that well, I spent most of the day chatting with them, and I absolutely loved it. The second moment came after the race, when Jack said something that stuck with me. He told me how much it meant to have us there. From a distance, he and Maisie could hear our cowbells and whistles, and it helped them know where we were, to look out for us and to keep going. But then he added something else. There were other parts of the route where there were no spectators. It was quiet, just the sound of feet hitting the ground and heavy breathing. Those were the hardest bits. At those points on the route, it was difficult to keep up the pace. That really got me thinking. Isn't that a reflection of life itself? Not all of us are runners, but we are all on some kind of journey. And on that journey, we don't always need someone to do something for us. Sometimes we just need someone to cheer us on. I can look back on my own life and recall the many times people have encouraged me. They've lifted me up. They've given me strength to keep going. And I can also remember the times when I didn't have that support. How much harder things were in those moments. There are moments in life when we need that encouragement, when there are also moments where we need to be the ones that encourage, the ones standing on the sidelines with the cowbells and the whistles, cheering others on. As the verse in Philippians 4 verse 13 says, I can do all things through him who gives me strength. Now I may be stretching the context a little, but the truth still stands. Life is less difficult when we have support. And for those of us who live by faith, that strength comes from Jesus. I've experienced that strength personally, but I've also felt it through the presence and encouragement of the people around me. And I hope to offer the same strength to others, whether by sharing my faith or simply by showing up for them. So let's not run the race alone. Let's draw strength from those around us, and in turn, let's be the ones who help others find pace again. Let me close with these words from Hebrews 12. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith.